Well, we are here. We are here. The Ron Rivera era has come to an end. This morning, we got the notification that Ron Rivera has been fired by the Washington Commanders, and we have started the new era. Yes, there are some remnants still left there, but I think they'll be gone very soon once we get the people in place. Because Josh Harris has made an unorthodox hiring to begin this process. And we're definitely going to talk about that on the other side, but we're also going to talk about Ron Rivera's tenure here before we completely get rid of the stench that he left. He's a good guy. He really is. But it came down to there were too many I really do's. On the other side of this, Owning the Huddle podcast. I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Good. Is he back? He's still frozen.
He trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today. I said tell CJ to drop it.
No, y'all not taking that, bro. Y'all not taking that.
Nah, it's over. You already put it out there, DT.
I put Troy Apke because he ain't getting on the field. He ain't getting on defense at all.
See, that's the problem. You drinking that South Evil.
Seriously, he's gonna make the team, and he's gonna be up back or something.
Up back is crazy. He's not making the team.
What is listen, if he makes this team as an up, you know what? Nope.
All the fans leaving again.
They love trap.
Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. I am Deuce, and joining me today, the host, the co-host of the show, DT Ceelo. Hey man, look man, we are here. Like Ron Rivera's fight. I put a tweet out yesterday. Who do people think that Ron Rivera should hire a defensive coordinator? It didn't go as well.
What do you think it's gonna be?
Oh man, Mock, what's good? Mock kicker. Yes, Mike McDonald he was one of the executive that we requested permission to talk to. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. I don't know, kicker. He might be coming, man. What's good, Mock? What's good? What's up, Jeff? Chuck is in the building. Ceelo, how you feel, man? Like, let me see. Did it go down how you thought it would go down?
Yeah, about what I expected, man. They called him in, front office Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern time, nice, bright and early, and was like, yo, we love you, but we got to go in different directions. So the only part we'll talk about later, man, the only part that, it's a little bit questionable is, they didn't completely clean house. They just kind of let Ron go and said everyone else is to be determined. So, but yeah, man, it's about as I expected.
So DT, you got, I think Nikki was on it early. Like Ron was at 7:30 early in the morning. Then the report came out it's going to be a team meeting at 9. So I kind of suspected it'll happen before then if it was going to happen. But did you expect for it to go any other way?
Nah, I didn't really see no other way around it. I think, for what the new ownership did, I think this was a proper way to do it. I know a lot of us has had, the argument, debate about, should have fired him earlier in the season, but I think rightfully so. I've had my my kicks with Ron, but I think this was the right thing to do for somebody to come to this organization, knowing that nobody would have taken this job the way it was structured with old regime. And, he did a bare farewell, finished the game. His birthday was yesterday. Let him come back, and then you have the tough conversation and let him go about his day. But I think this was the right way to do it, and kind of went the way I expected it.
Yeah. What's up, Commish? Commish is in the building. They didn't call him, and they sent a text message. I don't think. What's up, Radar? I don't think they sent the text. I think this meeting was scheduled last week. I'm sure, because Ron was ready with those when they was asking him yesterday about if like what's going to go on with him, and he told him, I got a meeting with him tomorrow. Like they asked him like 100. Are you going to get fired? I got a meeting with him tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want me to extend it? I got a good meeting with him tomorrow. Go ahead, DT. I thought you were about to say something. My bad.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
The District of Columbia. What's up, Breeze, man?
Hey, man, what's happening? Are you in a terminal, Ceelo?
Yeah, you see, look, on his way. See what I'm saying? Like,
some things don't change, man.
We might got to change that opening though. I guess we'll change that soon, right?
It's kind of funny though.
I can't wait till we talk about Brother Deuce defending his own line. We gonna these offseason shows. Yeah. Yo.
Is we gonna have a cold take show? This is what we doing?
Freezing cold takes. So, Breeze, we haven't heard from you all day. Sometimes hard to get in contact with you. We know you be super busy. 2-3 phones. You got a lot to attend to, but Ron Rivera gone, man. I mean, did you kind of see it? This whole how today played out up into the announcements about who Josh Harris was bringing in. But did you kind of think that it will go? Did you think they didn't do enough for Ron? You think they did enough? Like, how do you feel about it?
Nah, it went pretty much how I expected it. I actually thought they might have said something last night because I feel like it was such a foregone conclusion as to what was going to happen. And it's no disrespect to Ron, but it is what it is. Ultimately, he just wasn't good enough at the job he was hired to do. But yeah, there was no surprise to me, short of like you said, who was the hires that were announced.
Yeah, like I thought that he would be at the press conference, when kind of sort of what they did in Carolina, but once his letter came out, I said, nah, he's not going to be there. It's probably just going to be Josh there.
I think Carolina was a little different just because the highs that he had, the high point of his tenure in Carolina was such a Super Bowl run and all the 15-1. Like it was, I mean, I feel like because of that, it kind of meant that was a little more ceremonious. But yeah, I mean, I guess they threw him a bone by not announcing it on his birthday yesterday. But I think it was like I said, pretty much a foregone conclusion. I'm pretty sure they had conversations internally as to what was happening. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a surprise this morning when he walked in and whatever was said was said. I'm pretty sure he knew going into yesterday that yesterday was going to be his last game. So,
I definitely agree. And everyone that's watching or listening, we're going to be on here all week. Red's on the Labs, like a little fan appreciation. Got the fans coming on, just talking about Ron's tenure and what they want to see going forward. So if you want to be a part of any of that, just comment, send a DM on Twitter, reach out to any one of us. We're going to be here all day. Ceelo, I don't know where he's going to be, but obviously we know he's not in the house. So what's up, John? I see you in the chat, John. What's good, man?
I'm here for as many as I can be a part of. I got a few game day drip fits that I ain't get off this season, so I'm gonna go ahead, step out for a few of them,
So let's go back. Let's go all the way back. 2019, 2020, when we hired Ron Rivera. I don't really remember it seemed like it was just Ron. Like we just hired Ron. Then we end up hearing about all this behind the backdoor stuff about like him and Joe Gibbs and the back and forth thing, blah 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 blah, and everything that was going on, this and that. But where did it go wrong from the moment he was hired to the moment he was fired? We can start with Ceelo. I don't know what time his plane is coming. So
we got a while.
So you want them dudes to be there like sitting down at the gate 2-3 hours prior? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I actually do. I do be trying to get here early, bro. And I'm in Atlanta, which is literally the second largest airport in the world.
Yeah.
So if y'all know what Atlanta is like,
you in Atlanta, okay?
So you know how that goes. We're not gonna talk about Atlanta right now, Breeze. But anyway, so
wait a minute. DT, you ain't catch it.
I thought I was trying to smirk nothing now.
Nah, I was just joking. So honestly, y'all might disagree. I think the problem started off almost day one. Deuce, I think the whole situation with Trent was just a debacle. I know it's unique. I know it was a tough situation, but sometimes in business, you make decisions real quick, and they can affect you for the rest of your experience in that particular job. And we're talking about an offensive line that had the makings of Moses, Trent, Sheriff, the center who kept getting mad, Chase Roulier, kept getting injured, and then left guard was I know what's his name left, and we try to get him back, Eric Flowers. So you're talking about the future Hall of Famer that you for somehow, some way could not come to terms with, whether it's money or some other situation, and you let that walk for whatever it was, a 5th round pick, to me was the very first domino to fall. You double tag Sheriff and everything else is history. And I know a lot of other things like the number 2 overall pick for Chase, but to me, the very first problem was Trent.
Yeah, so like DT, I mean, Ron came in, that was the big thing he talked about. Culture. We need to change the culture. I'm going to make this what I want it to be. And he goes to Trent, which Trent is at the time the Redskins, like this is his team. Like he's the guy, you know what I mean? And going through everything he just went through, the whole fan base is, behind him. And Ron goes to him and it's like he went to everyone else and he says, I need to see you play. I mean, is it fair? Like Ceelo say that's where it started at, but the guy couldn't put on a helmet, as he say. I never really believed that, because as soon as he went to San Fran, he literally put a helmet on. So obviously, I just don't think he wanted to be here. But looking back, do you think Ron went at that the wrong way?
I mean, we can always play revisionist history, right? We can always go back and look at some of the mistakes we
That's
did.
A teacher where like teaching stuff like that.
I do think I'm pretty sure if Ron could have gone about it a different way, he probably would have fixed it. But also, let's not forget that a lot of the gripe wasn't really as much with Ron, even though he was the one to make those words to him. It was the old regime that, didn't even check on the man as much. This guy was dealing with this for a long time. And I think I seen him the other day. I seen the scar on the top of his head. And that's just a tough call right there. And unfortunately, he's the talented player that we drafted in 2010. And he never really got the recognition because he was also playing in the same division with a Tyron Smith as best left tackle in the league, and now he getting all the All Pro honors at 49ers. But I think, to me, it gone wrong when the old regime decided to give him the power to control player personnel and all that stuff, which I understand trying to fix the culture from his perspective and the ways he wanted to do it from Carolina. But when you haven't really done it as much with the pro personnel department or much as the scouting department. You may have scouted players, but it might be a different thing with some of the guys that were left over from the old regime, how they scouted with, the Kyle Smiths and the Mayhews coming and you trying to work with the Mayhew. I think that's where they're going wrong because the personnel of this team for the past 4 years, you may have some bright spots, but they never really evolutionized or truly developed under Ron Rivera. And I think that's where it has gone wrong. Most definitely. We already know about the big picture. I'm not going to talk about that. We all know about the 2-letter word. It starts with Q and ends with B. That's also the biggest problem with the Ron Rivera era.
What about you, Breeze?
I mean, I kind of agree with DT. I do think, as it pertains to Trent, I think at that point, Trent's intention was to leave. Granted, I think every professional athlete has a price to a certain extent, but Ron telling him he needed to essentially prove himself definitely didn't help in that conversation.
Yeah.
But I feel like, giving Ron so much control over player personnel definitely was it was kind of his downfall because he was essentially the end all be all as to what the roster was going to be, and we see that ended up failing him from quarterback position, from offensive line, defensively, all across the board. I mean, really, it was. I think that was the first domino to fall from essentially from day one, basically to what it was going to be, and he was kind of forced to inherit Dwayne, who didn't pan out. Chase Young at number 2 at the time was a foregone conclusion for most people. I know it's fun to say we should have picked Tua, we should have picked Herbert. Most people at that time remember people saying that Chase Young was a guaranteed Hall of Fame player at that time. If you have an opportunity to draft that player, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that that's who you're going to pick. So, and again, we had Dwayne Haskins at the time. I think that was just the biggest domino, the first big domino to fall for Ron.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that, see, for me, I didn't have a problem with Ron being sort of like the coach-centric approach, right? Like, because coming in, he brought a lot of guys from Carolina, and they had some success in player development and scouting and pro personnel. I just felt like, worst case, he comes here and he can do like at least replicate a little bit of that in DC. If you remember, before Ron got here, we had Kyle, but like we had a very, very depleted team. So I just felt like initially I had no problem with that. I thought if he brought Marty with him, which was one of the big, brain trusts in Carolina. I trusted him with Ron. I was like, cool. And then you hire Mayhew, who has nothing to do with Ron. They have no history. So I'm like, cool. He went out and actually did a true GM search. So I'm thinking you got Mayhew, you got the other Marty, and then you got Ron, sort of like kind of the tiebreaker. I'm like, cool. Like on paper, I was like, I could live with that. The problem is they failed. Right? Like they just failed for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's these guys. It could be the guys below them. It could be some other reasons. So the structure at the time, I was cool with. Now looking back on it, yeah, it was horrible. That's the only reason why I mentioned the Trent thing is because sometimes, man, you just gotta go get players out of dogs and overcome some of your deficiencies. And when you have you get lucky like that, you walk into a situation like a Trent. As horrible as it was, I know, like to DT's point, it was a horrible situation. I just feel like you need a couple like, okay, these guys gonna get me through some stuff, and let me go ahead and figure out the rest later. So, anyway, that's kind of how I looked at it at the time. Thinking back on it, yeah, of course, it was a bad situation.
I think also as far as Trent, if the return for Trent was better, then that loss is much easier to take. But to give up somebody who's still playing as top 3, if not top 3, not 3 left tackles in football, like what was it, 4 or 5 years later, and we got a 5th round pick for him at that time, third round pick for him, excuse me, get a 3rd round pick for him at that time. Like that's a player that you should get a 1st round pick for. Like
and like the flip side of it, Ron was kind of looking at it like, everything that happened with him, everything that he's going through, I don't want to be here. I want to do what's best for him. And that's what happened. When you do what's best for players, then you're not going to get the return that everyone wants you to get. So I never was upset about that, even though I would have loved to get something more, but I wasn't upset that they, looked out for him in that sense. Shout out to yeah, go ahead. I want to shout out to Dustin. Shout out, hey, shots, man. Hey, look, man, this wing situation getting ugly for the blue people, man. More and more coming out, man. It's getting ugly. But I'm gonna come back to this one right here about the fear. This is something. I don't know if it's like fear, but I think he wanted like control. Like he didn't want nobody. He didn't want to be divided. I think Ron wanted to be. This is my show, right? You're gonna do as I want. I want to build this team how I want to build it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I think how that went down.
Yeah. But I think where it comes to that is this is also the biggest downfall. I think it overshadows a lot of things. When you have that control and you have the people around you that you feel like can build a team in your image, if you don't see something right, you have to step in. I think the inability to step on certain people's toes because of how coaches is or how players is, I think that also became Ron's downfall. Whatever, he had a conversation when he finally told us why he didn't really step in when he let go of Jack Del Rio, or why, the whole thing with EB in the summer and later on it lagged on to the season. Like, the players wanted Ron to step in more. And you can hear that from some of the conversations in the locker room. They wanted Ron to be more the enforcer, but I think Ron wanted to step back far more and try to be a CEO more than a head coach. And I think that was also a downfall as well.
Yeah, you can kind of see that with this whole Scott Turner running the ball thing, because that went on for a few weeks before it seems like Ron actually stepped in and say, look, you're going to run the ball, right? Dennis Bell, appreciate you for joining. It might not be your first time. I don't remember, but we definitely appreciate you coming through. Please continue to do so. Everyone that's listening and watching, please hit that like button. Let's get that algorithm moving. Ron is gone. Almost feels better than the Eagles and the Eagles losing. Yeah, yeah, definitely. The Eagles is like, it's wild. I really can't explain it. Like, I know the coordinator's gone, but I mean, they was 10-1, right? When they 10-1? Like
10-1. They finished 11-6.
It ain't looking good. Yeah. He was only a success in Carolina because of Cam and team of talent. But he brought in a lot of that talent too, though, right? Like, the guys that was there, he was responsible for. Yeah. He built it up, he developed them, and he managed Cam pretty good. Like, Cam is not easy to be managed in that sense. And
I will say he can't take credit for Cam because Cam was the clear choice.
He was already,
And Cam was, but I mean, like you said, he did a great job managing Cam. And Cam's personality since then has, taken off. He's a completely different person now and like a whole different entity. But he did a decent job managing that personality at the time.
Yeah, they had a good squad down there, didn't they? In terms of like defense, I mean, Quan Short and that Kuechly and Josh Norman. They did a good job building that team over time. And they actually developed some guys.
They weren't all draft Patrick Chung too? No, he went to he drafted Chung, right?
No, Chung went to the Patriots, I thought, right? Or no?
I think he ended up going to the Patriots. Yeah.
I think the Panthers drafted him. I think
Belichick don't draft good players.
That's another conversation that we can have in the offseason.
Well, that's why I wasn't too mad about the structure, because he didn't get along with Gettleman. Remember the Gettleman issue and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's why I think he wanted full structure. Not only, and I don't think nobody wanted to come here. Like, a lot of people say, well, you could have went after someone younger, this, that. Like, a lot of people, I wonder where this coming from. Y'all see this little, I think when someone hit, I think so Twitter, so StreamYard has now and X has now like when you add Twitter to the stream now, so when people comment in Twitter or show up over here, it didn't used to do that. So I think also with that like button or whatever, if they hit it on Twitter, did you see how you had the little bubble thing? I
So
think that's
I know
just
what
where
that
it
is.
goes. Yeah, what is it?
That's the iPhone thing.
The new
like the
iOS
blunders.
iPhone, if you do a thumbs up, it'll do a thumbs up
Yeah, it ain't
on
picked
like
up now, but yeah.
FaceTime and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll
So
see. So it's an iPhone thing.
It just popped up on Ceelo's phone.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, okay.
It's weird. I hate it. I'm trying to get rid of it,
Can't
but
stand it, bro.
So if I
weird.
thumbs you up on your iPhone, it'll pop up on the screen.
If you
yeah,
if you on FaceTime, you do like this or something, and the camera picks it up, it'll pop up. Yeah.
yeah.
Now
You can do hearts and stuff. You can do hearts and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what the whole point of that, but that's what that is.
Yeah, I should have told me that. Hold up. All right. So Smoke said Ron's first downfall was not establishing an identity. Knowing what we know now, we can clearly see a difference. I think, I mean, what you think, DT? I think he actually established an identity. They might not have won, but this locker room, the character of these players, like this is what Ron wanted. This is what he built. These are the players that he drafted, the players that he signed. Like this is the type of team that he wanted. So I think what his vision was of building as far as culture is there. It's just they just didn't win.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think where the difference is from the schematics and off philosophy standpoint, you didn't know how we were going to win week in and week out. I think that was a problem with Scott. He was going to run the ball, play action and stuff like that, but his play calling was very mixed, and we knew he was a young play caller coming from Carolina. But EB, he comes over here. We know the pedigree he has from Kansas City, and we're mixed about him. So I think that's where people are talking about with that point. But I definitely agree. I think Ron has gotten the type of people that he wanted. It may not be the type of people that I wanted in some aspects, but I think these are some good characters, guys, for this organization. Now we just coming to all season, we might need a couple of dogs. We might need some.
Yeah, we need them dogs, and we don't have them. I mean, we and I'm not talking about like Terry. Yeah, he gets to a point when he becomes he has to like morph into it. But I need somebody to just walking down, like walk in the locker room, just has it. You know what I'm saying? That you can't talk to him like you talk to everybody else, right? You can't be all in his face like you be in everybody else's face. We definitely need some of those players, and I don't think we have none.
By the way, I was thinking of Trey Boston, not Patrick Chung. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Trey Boston. That's right.
Yeah. But he did have some pretty decent picks in Carolina though. He had a few busts too, but
definitely.
Yeah.
I think Deuce. I think, and to DT's point, I think they did have a type of player they wanted. If y'all remember, they seem to value athleticism a lot. So the speed and the size, like that was their thing. Obviously, high character. So you got athletes, high character guys. Kind of seem to be their versatile. That's right, versatile.
The position flex thing that we all came to hate. We all came to hate it, but that was
that seemed to be that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted, and they got it.
They got it,
and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't.
At all.
That didn't at all. This is what we got: Cam Curl, Antonio Gibson. Yeah, but that's not enough. Like
you don't even, might be gone this offseason.
Yeah, and Williams is still going to be a Pro Bowl next year.
Gibson is probably definitely gone this season. And at this point, Cam Curl's probably 50-50 if he's going to come back.
Yeah,
their best picks was Cosby and Curl. Seemed like
yeah. And Hawk said he was drafted by the Pat, so that's my bad.
Yeah,
we talking about a different player. What's up, Hawk? Appreciate you coming through. Oh yeah, hold a heart up. What you talking about, Chuck?
The hands thing.
Oh,
Like that. It's not gonna do it now because like I don't know why. Oh, there you go. Put
hold up. You just did.
Yeah.
Oh, what is
You
this?
go-
That's not a heart.
you-
Hold up.
That's not. I don't know what you're doing, Deuce.
Oh, I'm on my computer. I'm on my Surface though. That ain't gonna work.
That's why. Yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thumbs up is not going. It's not doing a thumbs up now, but
Yeah, I know, right? Of course.
thumbs up is always an
man.
accident.
What's good, man? Who is this? I thought isn't this somebody we know, but they have a different name? Asan. I thought it was, but I don't remember. But what's up anyway, man? Yeah, we definitely gonna get into that. We definitely gonna get into that, Chuck. Probably like we got a couple more sessions before we take a break for the off season. But probably next week we're gonna get into the draft.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about this off season
and all that. He said that's he said that's a rock.
Yeah, Deuce did this. I don't know what.
What's up, Andy? What's up, Scouts? Like I was
yo.
telling y'all, those that wasn't on earlier, we gonna make some announcements that we haven't. We going live every day. Fans is gonna come on and chop it up. So if you want to be a part of it, oh yeah, that's right, South Cousin. That's right. I knew I remember. Definitely hit me up. Send me a DM. Any one of us DM. Reply on YouTube's comment or on Twitter. And Thursday is going to be in the UK. We're going to be in the UK on Thursday. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
And that's going to be like, ain't that going to be in the morning time for them over there?
No. It's 5. Yeah, so it'll be like 10 o'clock for them, I think. Yeah,
okay.
5. I think it's 5 hours or whatever. Ron was. Ron on the analytics, dude.
Ron hired analytical dude. Well, I mean, he said it when he signed Carson. He was like, "I was the dude who looked at the analytics and all that." I think Ron was trying to become an analytics dude, but he wasn't like naturally an analytics guy. And I hate analytics.
Ron was mad, Dad. Like that's when you mad. You just say anything. He was mad at that joint.
But like I hate analytics because like analytically, Benjamin St. Juice is like a top 10 corner in the NFL. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like analytically, yeah. Analytically, Cam Curl is like a top 3 safety in the NFL. Like we all know these things are not true, but if you look at analytics, it's like no, man.
That's why I was like, I love the Shin hire. I love that hire for sure. But you know, I mean, just like now, we're gonna talk about this later with the hires that, you know, the hiring of the advisors. You need somebody in the room like Speilman. You know, when Myers be like, the analytics tells me that this guy's this, and that. Spielberg can say, "Well, have you watched the tape?" Like that. That we need those type of people in the room that have just as much voice power as the other person.
I think it's got to be both double-sided. You can't just have one or the other. You got to be able to look at both of them. Like this ain't baseball. You know what I mean? You got to be able to, you know.
Yeah. Henry, we ain't getting into no quarterbacks today. It's about the new era. We are surviving Ron Rivera. That's what I should have named this joint. Surviving Ron Rivera.
Outside of the whole name thing, which will be a conversation at some point. They're gonna thumbs up. This officially like rids the former regime of anything. Like this was basically the last year of the old regime. You know what I mean? So this. Outside of, again, name, uniform stuff, as far as coaches and decision makers, this was the last year of the old regime. I think now this is officially like a clean slate. Excuse me, and hopefully they can right the ship.
Mm-hmm. We still got a little bit more. We got the Martys in there, and
I mean, yeah, I think both Martys is getting fired once they
the cleaning people, the chefs, like we gotta get all them about it.
The chefs gotta go too. Dang.
Oh, gotta get them about it. Yeah, Hawk. Ron gonna enjoy that $10 million next year. He gonna be chilling.
Yep.
With that $10 million next year.
Ron is fat, man. I'm not.
He might be on TV. Y'all don't think Ron might get some TV gigs?
Nah.
I think he's
Good morning football. Good morning football. Good morning football.
I'm not even trolling, bro. Like he got a great relationship with them guys.
Oh man.
I
hope you don't do
never
out
understood why people get mad about. I don't want to call it celebrating, but like people get mad about professional athletes getting. Man, listen, them athletes and coaches, them dudes is millionaires. That is not the same as you or me getting fired, bro. That man walked out the door with what, almost $50 million in his pocket.
It's gonna be 50 next year around this time.
He gonna be just fine, just fine on his couch chilling. He probably got a smile on his face right now. Like,
yeah. So Dustin, I think the only confirmed is Peters, right? Adam Peters tomorrow or Wednesday. I think that's
GM?
the only. Not well. These hires is for president of football operations. They're not doing GM yet. Like all these hires we see for assistant GMs and all, this is for the president of football ops. That's what his job is for. And I think the only one that's confirmed is Adam Peters.
Can somebody help me with that? Maybe what is the difference outside of the like actual verbiage? What is the difference between a president of football operations and a GM? I know there's like a structural thing to it, but you know.
The way that Josh explained it in the presser, he said he wants to hire someone that obviously has a vision, and they will be allowed to build the team in that way. So someone asked the question, okay, how do you envision the structure of the team to be? He said, I'm gonna hire a president of football operations, and they can either hire a GM and a coach separately, or they can hire someone that's more of a coach central like Ron was, but they're going to have someone that they're going to report to, which is going to be this person they're looking for right now.
So basically, I'm gonna hire this person. I'm gonna step back and just sign checks. They gonna.
That's exactly that's
happens,
the way I explain it. I understood it. Right now, Josh did say, or her fault. Yeah, Josh did say that he prefers those two jobs to be separate. That's his like leanings, but he's open to the. Yeah, but he's open to the person who gets the job to do what they got to do, or do what they want to do. So that's kind of how I understood it.
And I think that's more so too. So like whoever they hire as VP, right? I think if just like from that explanation, whoever they hire for that position, how much involvement do they want to have in the process of the roster? Like, do they want to have involvement in the roster, or they just want to oversee the people that's building the roster? So if they want to take more like sign a check, step back, the coach GM, y'all need to make sure y'all doing what y'all doing. Then, I think it might be GM head coach. And then the other part of it is an experienced head coach. So let's say somebody like, Harbaugh or Aaron, like somebody that has experience being a head coach prior, you might allow them not to have a GM, maybe someone just assist them. So it's going to be very interesting, man. But the VP is just a person, like Ceelo was saying, like he's the direct report to the owner, right? So, if things don't go right the first 3 years, he probably don't get fired. He fires everybody else and start over.
The Jason Wright of football.
Exactly.
Fair enough. C. Henry, have you ever been to FedEx Field? I don't think you have. The parking attendants can definitely get fired. Everybody has one on. All of them.
Bro, you never lied.
Have you ever ate the FedEx Field food? All of them go to. Respectfully. They can all go. Unless you got a suite. The Buffalo Wings in the suite be busting. But to the normal people, they can go.
Being a head coach is the best job in the world.
Absolutely. Especially if this is that you can't coach nowhere else.
I cannot see this. I have not watched that show in forever. But if I get a notification or find out that Ron will be on there with Skip, yeah, I definitely.
He might, because Skip needs somebody he can try to bully. Because the people he got on there right now ain't finna let him get nothing.
But you know what? Let me stop. I ain't gonna go there. Keep my comments for myself. I'm gonna cancel.
Hey, Miss Janet. How are you, Miss Janet? Miss Janet. I can see head coach calling the offense or defense, but not being a GM. All right, so like the Ron Rivera
to focus on the football game, not be worrying about calling plays. But that's just me.
Yeah. So the Ron Rivera era, we kind of just talking about where did it go wrong from the beginning, man. I think And then like everything just happened all in 1 year. Like everything just happened all in that first year, man. And that took a lot out of Ron. It had to take a lot out of Ron. But then they got some I think going to the playoffs at 6-10 was probably the worst thing that could happen. No, 7 was 7-9, 7-9.
7-9, yeah.
7-9 was probably the worst thing that could happen because now the expectations is totally changed. And then to come back 8-8, and then another mid-year, and then all of a sudden he says, like, this year is going to be the year. Year 3 is going to be the year. And then somehow we end up getting an even average on an odd number of games, which is never happened, but that's what we did. So yeah, man, like for me, I think Ron, if we had competent ownership, he probably would have been fired last year, to be honest.
Right.
Teams usually given 3 years. If there's all mid throughout that tenure or no progress at all, you missed out on the quarterback numerous times, then you're probably gonna get fired. But of course, because of ownership, yeah, we're here.
See, here's the thing with Ron, though. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You go ahead.
My bad. So Ron did come out and say that, I wish we hadn't won the division last year or whatever, because it gave people unfair expectations, right? Which is fine. Like, a lot of people at that point in time killed him for it, but fine, fair. The problem is that we won the division his first year and then literally got worse every single year after that. They took a step back every single year. The defense finished like 4th or 5th last year?
Mm-hmm.
They were 30th this season?
They're 32nd.
32nd this season. Dead, like,
matter of fact, 35th. Go ahead, push it.
Like, Alabama's defense was better than ours this year. Like, we were like, that's the problem. You want to step. Hey, listen, I wish we hadn't won the division because it gave people cool, whatever. You didn't build on that though. Like, you continue to get worse. You inherited a 3-win football team and you get fired with them winning 4 games. Like, with the 2nd overall pick, you left us with the same gift you inherited. Like, the team continued to get worse, and I think that's a bigger problem. Like, you want to make that initial statement, fine, but if from that point, build something. Don't continue to get worse every year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
DT, what's the outside of, like, we talked about the Trent and those different things, but as far as roster construction after that, what's the worst move he made?
Ooh.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Are quarterbacks included in this?
Yeah.
I'm going to say reaching for guys that you like, not for the guys that were best on the board. We can talk about, I think I like this guy more, all this stuff. But look, Jamin Davis, Christian Darrisaw. I love Jahan. I think Jahan can still be good in this league, but Chris Olave, Kyle Hamilton.
Jameson Williams. Like, it's a lot of people.
Emmanuel Forbes, Christian Gonzalez. Like,
Deontay Banks.
I was a huge Bank guy. But when I
didn't even want Deontay Banks, but
we gotta stop that, man. And
DT cheated because his answer had 3 answers built into
it. Like, you know how DT rock.
I was over here like,
what you mean? I'm just giving you examples of what we reached on.
What's the worst move? You gave a blanket statement that encompassed multiple moves. You cheated.
No,
you should know. You should know better.
I'm just providing. At the end of the day, this man was reaching on draft picks because he liked them. They want a better player.
Can we be?
But Darian Mathis got 8 tackles.
Can we be? Yeah, we have Quan Martin. Quan Martin has shown flashes, but we haven't hit on a 2nd round pick in almost a decade. That's a way different conversation. But
Cosme.
I forgot about Cosme. I'm sorry, I forgot about Cosme. Okay, Cosme's the one right now, and he had to move. He had to move the right guard for it to be a thing. It is entirely possible, and this is not my one Deuce, but this is just for conversation. it is entirely possible that, as it currently stands, Emmanuel Forbes might be the worst draft pick of the Ron Rivera era. And listen. I want to like Emmanuel Forbes so badly. I want so badly for Emmanuel Forbes to succeed. But when we watched him play for a full season, not one time did he look like a sustainable NFL cornerback. Now, part of that may have to do with he had a high school defensive back coach for half the season, but not one regular season game outside of, I'm sorry, he had a good game against New England. So
come on, man.
He did. He had a decent game against New England.
We grade on the curve. We grade on the curve.
Cool. He failed. he failed all season. And it wasn't like a thing with Jamin where it was like, okay, we see how he can be better used and get better. Like Emmanuel Forbes looked bad all season. And I hate to say it, but he might just be the worst draft pick, at least from day one and day two, that we've had in this regime, in the Rivera era. And I hate to say it, but bro was bad this year. Like,
I don't know, man. It's not as sexy, but math is right there, though.
Yeah,
Mathis right now. I don't even know.
At least Mathis got hurt though. Mathis, at least he missed all of last season. And he has 2 Pro Bowlers ahead of him.
Yeah,
that's true.
This defense was 32nd even before Sweat and Young left. His defense was bad even before.
Montez Sweat led 2 teams in sacks this season. Like, how do we not have somebody? There's nobody else on the roster that can get 6.5 sacks. We just paid 2 defensive tackles, damn near all pro money, and we don't have one person that can get more than 6.5 sacks in 17 games.
Hey man, this is my last stray. Anytime my first round pick playing same amount as fullback, that's a problem.
First round cornerback.
I'm saying, man. But money on the sideline, Cooper Kupp, ain't nothing to do it. But guess what? He gonna get a 10-yard screen. He gonna get that. Sad, man.
Man, it was in this game. They make it no better, bro. No better at all. I mean, he out that joint, closing his eyes, ducking, like just terrible tape. He has terrible tape this year.
He has
terrible tape.
As it currently stands, he has.
He lucky I
don't
have that play.
I
should have pulled that play up.
Man,
no, we gonna have that play. We gonna have some worse plays when we get into this roster next week.
Yeah, we gonna get into it.
Yeah, we gonna because that's terrible. But who's your one? Who's your one, Breeze?
We doing just draft or player acquisition?
No,
acquisitions.
His worst acquisition.
Period. Yeah. DT gave the whole DT said the thought process of the draft. That was the whole thought process of the draft. Where I said I like them. Your military parents, I'm in.
I'm torn between Ryan Fitzpatrick and Carson Wentz. I'm gonna say Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz actually played badly. Ryan Fitzpatrick only played a quarter and a half. He didn't have a chance to be bad.
On a water slide.
Well, yeah, I think Carson Wentz. I think I gotta go because he's a quarterback. I think I gotta go Carson Wentz.
Yo,
a water slide. We already know, Ceelo, you can't choose who we know you're gonna choose. You gotta choose somebody else, man.
Nah, I wasn't gonna say him. I was gonna say I was not gonna say it. I was not gonna say it. I was gonna say William Jackson III, man. I think that was the worst.
I forgot all about William Jackson III.
That was a $50 million contract that dude did. He may have had one pick. That dude had absolutely nothing. He did absolutely nothing on this football team. He was completely useless. He was completely lost. He was completely ineffective, and he's out of football right now.
And you know the wild thing about this defense is that the complaints was about William Jackson not a man cover who was like top 5 man covering cornerbacks in the league in Cincinnati. You bring him here, you play his zone. Like, why would you bring him here? Like, you play his zone, he can't adapt. He got Pac-Man and all these people clowning him about he can't read and
Oh,
all
I
this other
forgot
stuff.
about
So
that. That was hilarious.
we going through all that with him, and he can't make it. You cut him, right? And so now you draft a cornerback that excels in zone coverage. You know, you want a ball hawk, but then you switch to man. Like, why would you do that? Like, what's the thinking? What's the thought process coming from Jack Del Rio? Like, you get rid of players that don't fit your scheme. You change your scheme, and you bring in more players that don't fit your scheme because you changed it the first time. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. Rivera drafts have been horrible throughout his tenure. I think his best draft pick was Cam. It was really a Kyle Smith pick. And Cosme, forget the rest.
No, this year, like,
Who's the best free agent pickup they've had? Is it Logan Thomas?
Yeah, that was going to be next. And I think Andy is saying that about Cam is because that was basically their board prior to Ron coming.
Like, there's no middle ground with Cam. He's either like up here or down here, and as a safe, like, he hasn't had an interception. Yeah, he hasn't had an interception since 2020, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, he doesn't generate turnovers.
I know he dropped the easy one this year. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but he hasn't had an interception in 3 years. He always seems to be like a step behind in coverage. He can hit, but he misses tackles at times. Like there's still a lot to be desired with how about Cam Newton with Cam Curl too. Like, I mean, Cosme might be his best pick right now. Based on yesterday. I mean, Cam didn't play, but
I don't know, man. It's tough.
It's tough to evaluate these guys, bro. Like in terms of the play on the field, like you talked about Mathis being hurt, so you can't judge that. But in terms of actually playing, and you know, Cosme just now really getting healthy, right? Because he been kind of up and down the last couple of years. He's been between right guard and right. I've never seen a staff move a guy every other possession, right guard, right tackle, right guard, right tackle. Like, I've never seen that before in the NFL. Seen it in college, never in the NFL. So that was wild. So this staff, man, like, you don't know who's good and who's bad. Like, how do you even look at the tape?
And that was my next thing, especially on defense. There are so many people that I personally feel like were misused. Cam and Jamin being two major parts of that. Emmanuel Forbes was misused, although he might possibly just not good. But a lot of people on the defense were misused. So as a new head coach, as a new GM and new head coach and new coordinator, when you're trying to evaluate these people, like, how? Especially people like Cam who are now pending free agents. It's like,
it's tough.
I think you good, but I'm not really sure if you good, but I got to make a decision on you, but I don't want to pay you a whole bunch of money because you might not be good, but I don't want to underpay you because then you're going to leave and somebody's going to pay you a bunch of money. Like, it's
right.
Yeah.
You may see, this may be, we may be getting ahead of ourselves, but this may be a year where you see a bunch of 1-year deals, you know, a bunch of proof. Like, they may offer Cam a 1-year deal just to say, listen, bro, I don't know you like that. And the way you was used before, it was cool, but I got to see it in my system. Here's a deal for, I don't know, $11 million, take it or leave it, you know, whatever. So
given the situation, I expect Cam to hit the open market and see what his value is.
I do too.
Yeah.
And then,
I would if I'm his agent, I'd decide. It'd be nice to give him an offer, but yeah, he may say, you know what, thank you. Let me see what you got on the other side.
I think that's best for both sides, though, because like as the commanders,
I think we're approaching that territory anyway. To be honest,
yeah, I mean at this point, yeah, for sure. Like,
I'm not tagging him though.
No.
I can't risk that. Like, I feel like everybody that's on this team, they have a bad mark on their resume. They're gonna have to find some way to fix it.
Yeah.
First of all, DC fish sandwiches from the carryout is on 1. So Justin, I don't know what you're talking about.
He betting to say DT.
Oh, DT no more of that. Oh, he's talking from McDonald's. Hey, bro, like, Why you eat fish sandwiches from McDonald's, man?
Man, I was hungry one day, man. Like,
Hey, that's some Southern stuff going on right there. That's what y'all do down there in the South. Look at that thumbs up right there.
Oh yeah, you scratch your nose and the thumbs up.
It always pop up when you do something. Like you be sitting like this and it'll pop up, but when you actually sitting there doing this, it won't do.
It won't work.
Finally did.
Nah,
see, Andy, this is the thing with Cam though, right? Cam is not necessarily fast enough to be a free safety.
Yeah.
He's not really big and physical enough to be a full-time strong safety. He's way too small to play linebacker, like to play the Buffalo, the big nickel role. He's way too small to do that full time. So he's kind of a tweener. He has to play different positions based on whatever the package or situation is. But I think it's best for both him and the team for him to hit the open market and see what his value is. Because you don't want to overpay him if you're the Commanders, but if you're a Cam, you don't want to take the first offer that they give you and leave more money on the open market.
To give them credit, though, I will say they did a good job with Cam. Like I feel like they didn't misuse. Like they knew Cam was smart. He's physical, even though he's a little smaller, but he actually developed into a really, really good player. And so I think it's actually worked out really well. That's one of the success stories of that defense, if you want to call it that. It's just, now the new guys are going to come in here and be like, yeah, I like you, but I don't know if I like you for 3 years, $30 million, whatever.
Right.
So
I just think Cam has limitations. I don't think he's a bad player. He just has limitations. And if you try to force him to play above those limitations, then that's when you start to have problems.
Yep. Yeah. If he was a tad bit more athletic and it would be a perfect mesh, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think with that whole Buffalo nickel, that was only created because they were afraid to tell Landon Collins he wasn't good at safety. That's literally the only reason why we started hearing about some Buffalo nickel. That was the reason why.
If he agreed, if Landon would have agreed to play backer, he would have been our best linebacker.
Yep,
probably to this day.
Because he started playing well. Remember before he got hurt, he started.
They call him D. Who is D? Y'all know who D is? Like by Twitter name?
Nah. Let me see that.
I just think
the comment.
I think everybody runs a type of nickel because that's the new NFL now. Like everybody's having like the tweener safety playing. So like Dallas runs almost the same defense. They're just way better than us. But I just think like it's all about.
Oh man,
it's not going to leave, but it's all about having guys there that can actually play it. And like to do point, like Landon was not the fit at the time.
Just for the record, for anybody who does not know, every team has a version of that position. It may not be the Buffalo, it may be Bandit, it may be Hybrid, Dog. The team I coach, we call it the Crimson. Every team has a version of that. So the new defensive coordinator will probably have a version of that. It may not be as annoying as hearing Buffalo nickel 5 times a week, but it exists though. It does have that. As far as Cam is the epitome of the position flex thing. He can play a little bit of strong safety. He can play a little bit of free safety. He can probably play a little bit of nickel, a little bit of linebacker, but he can't do any of it full time. So like Cam is that when you have to kind of move him around, you're going to lose some. I think he is best suited as a strong safety, but he can't do it full time though. I don't think. I think he's best used moving him around.
What's funny though is that Cam plays literally 100% of the snaps.
Yeah.
He never comes off the field unless he's hurt.
But that though is what hurts him when you talk about turnovers though, because he doesn't come off the field, but he doesn't generate any. I mean, I think he did have a forced fumble this year and a fumble recovery, if I'm not mistaken. But like he doesn't generate turnovers though,
and he also doesn't have impact plays. Like not even about turnovers, but stopping somebody short of the first down. Break up on a 3rd and 7. He comes out of it, break it up. Like the impact plays we saw from Quan Martin, like I think that was probably the best showing from a secondary player all year, as far as like impact and what you can kind of remember from a game. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I think he definitely lacks for sure.
I think Cam is best used as a box safety. Like you don't want him playing too deep in the coverage. You don't want him matched up on like a quick shifty receiver. Like he's going to lose those matchups more times than not. But again, in the right role, he's a good football player.
that
Jaguars fired.
ever.
Hold on, once I do the Jaguars fired Mike Caldwell and other defensive staff members. So
That's your DC.
Doug Peters clearing out on the defensive side, and they saying they mad at Telly in the space because they see he keep talking about the rebrand. Go ahead, DC.
I'm not saying like Telly, man.
Another problem for the defense as well is like trying to find that. We're still trying to find that true safety that can play over the top. Percy Butler has been bad this year. I know, like Forrest may be better, but I still view Forrest as a
strong safety.
Like we don't have that can support those guys. Maybe Quan could play. I don't know, but I think
Andy, that's not true.
True. So we ain't got no free safety to support these brothers, man.
And I want Quan playing up around the line of scrimmage. I think he did a heck of a job on dialing wide receivers up on the line of scrimmage. Like, because and then that was my whole thought process. Like, he literally was one of the only defensive players that played nickel his entire career. Like, that's what he excelled at. So why would you bring him here and have him playing safety and all that? Because you didn't want to bench BSJ and draft Fords, but he played doggone well. I think he's our nickel corner up around.
I think Quan can play free safety, but as far as Derek Forrest, think about Derek Forrest. I think Derek Forrest is also better suited to play strong safety, and I think Derek Forrest is actually better than Cam Curl at strong safety. The problem is that we don't have a good free safety.
Well, he was kind of getting down up when Curl had went out. He looked like he wasn't really grasping that playing up around the line of scrimmage. I think if he plays 8 to 10 yards off the ball, I think I don't know, man, for Forrest, it just seems like the further he's away, the more of an impact he can be up around the line of scrimmage. Like he covers a lot of field. Like that's one thing he does. Yeah, he covers a lot of field and he has control. But I want I saw Quan Martin play these last few weeks, a lot of that came up around the line of scrimmage. And him running down the field with Brandon Cooks and those guys this past week. He played at his college. Like that's what he played. See, this is the thing about Ron we get so frustrated about is that you're trying to make them something that they not because you're afraid to tell somebody else they're not good enough because you like them. Like that's my biggest issue with Ron.
I agree. I think Quan, like you said, Quan was a full-time nickel. Was it Illinois?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they had dogs too.
Quan was the second best player on the defense to the fourth overall pick.
Weatherspoon. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So very, very, very good program. Why do you change that? Let him be your nickel. Let him work on. And you come in and say, "Hey, Quan, I want you to play nickel. Focus on that." And he can try to excel at that. Why would you change that? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's crazy to me. But that's Ron, man. That position flex bullshit. Excuse me. That position flex stuff, man. I think it sets you back. You know, and people don't know where they fit into the scheme, and all of a sudden they run around. How many how many breakdowns we've seen this year? It's the fourth year in the same defense. How are you still having like mental breakdowns and coverage breakdowns on a frequent basis? That's crazy to me.
Oh, they said the roof is leaking and
oh my God,
in Houston.
Oh,
and
the championship joint. Dang.
Yep, it's in the end zone too. Look like it's dropping right in the end zone.
That's a brand new stadium. That's crazy.
Yeah, they need to get somebody.
NRG ain't brand new no more. You know.
Yeah, I'm thinking. You know, to me, Houston is like the new team.
I know. It's still Houston is still an expansion team in my head.
Yeah,
I get it. That stadium 20 years old.
Yeah, I guess FedEx ain't that new either, huh?
All right, what was Ron Rivera's best move? Both best signing, pick, acquisition.
Best pick, just by value of where he was drafted at, is probably Cam Curl or Derek Forrest.
All right, what about free agency? So I think we probably gonna be on the same page with the draft. What about free agency?
Best.
Man, I know he only lasted like 1 year, but man, JD McKissic was nice. Man.
Yeah.
Damn,
JD was a good one.
I'm gonna say Fuller.
I forget that Kendall came back.
Yeah.
I might have to Fuller, but I gotta put an asterisk by Fuller's name because we did draft him and he left and came back. And Kendall's from here. I think Kendall always wanted to be here. Like he's one of the rare local guys. I think Kendall wants to.
That's
be
why
here.
I think he takes a pay cut. Like he already got a ring. You know what I'm saying? Been around family, established. I think he takes a pay cut.
Kendall's from here. Like I think he's one of the few local guys that I think legitimately wants to be here. So I got to put an asterisk next to Kendall's name. But yeah, I guess, damn. Would a third string running back really suffice as your best move? That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is what it is. Darby had a nice 1 year, and he went off and got paid to go to Denver, but that was 1 year.
He inherited Eric Flowers, so that was Jay Gruden signing, right?
Yeah, he inherited. I mean, Eric Flowers left when Ron.
He left and came back. Yeah.
What you think, DT?
Damn, bro.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm pretty scarce, man.
I thought you were gonna say Wiley.
We talking about best. We barely spend the free agency, man.
They said nasty in the space.
I might pop in for a minute. I know Telly got some stuff for me, but
I'm about to play it. Hold on.
I'm gonna say Fuller. He's kind of been the most consistent thing. Like I would say Curtis, but he got dinged up when we got him, and he's been solid now. But Fuller always there, and we always talk about trying to replace him, but he's still our best corner.
Yeah. If Telly's talking, this is about to kill you.
I wouldn't give up anything. 5-year run, like
he talking.
Let me say this.
They are wow. So all right, Curtis. JD McKissic, man.
I just feel like Curtis, that's a good one, DT, but Curtis just so underutilized, man. I feel like the potential,
and it's like not his fault.
It's not his fault. It's just, I feel like his numbers should be so much better just based on his potential. But
I think Curtis's 3 years equate to an average contract. His first year, he didn't do anything and he barely played. Last year, he was electric. He was leading people in the dirt last season. And then this year was like, okay, either he's getting 8 catches a game or he's not doing nothing. It was like, you know what I mean? But Curtis is closing. And Curtis is also a Ron Rivera guy, so Curtis probably will be back next season. But
I think he will, though. Yeah, I want him back.
I want to bring Curtis back.
We're definitely going to talk about that, who we want to bring back and stuff next week for sure. Yeah, man, and that's a shame. Like,
I'm gonna go with JD. I'm gonna go with JD McKissic though.
Yeah,
slight edge over Kendall Fuller.
But he only had 1 year though, right? I mean, because the next year he got hurt early.
Yeah, that neck.
Yeah. So I mean, I can say Curtis if we're going to use JD. You got Logan.
Logan was solid.
Yeah,
solid.
Logan. Who else?
It's tough, man. This. Hey, what's up, Mr.
I thought you don't want to give it to Trey Turner.
I almost got
Oh man. This is wild, yeah.
That's sad. You have 4 years and you can't come up with a clear number one free agent pickup. Man.
We can't. I can't.
So if we do a top three, what do we have? We got Kendall, JD, and Logan. If we do a top three,
that's probably it.
Jeez.
Hey, Ray.
What up, Ray?
This is wild. Like, this is wild.
That shows you how bad it's been.
Epilogue of the Ron Rivera ever.
This is bad.
that shows you how bad it's been. That your best draft pick was a 5th-round draft pick who hasn't had an interception since he was a rookie and is now at the end of his contract. And your best free agent pickup, we can't even all agree on. Might be a cornerback who was born here and just wants to be here, or a 3rd-string running back.
Yeah. Ain't nobody talking about Noel. Oh my gosh.
Andy.
Montez already signed that contract.
He is gone. Riri, he is gone. Good
Hey,
read.
ain't signed nothing though.
We got a bet.
What did Riri say?
Bring Chase Young back.
Can we bring Montez Sweat back?
Yeah, Riri. That's that don't come with a return receipt.
You better go with Bessie to Chicago because it ain't gonna happen here.
The team was flattened when Chase Young and Montez got traded. Let's bring one of them back. Bill Morale.
I mean, you could probably bring Chase back because he ain't gonna be in the 49ers after this season.
You bring Chase back, you gotta get rid of Allen.
Hey, look, hey Hart, check this out. It was 3rd and 17. He had Sam under center. So there you have it. That's our offense all year.
That game yesterday was so hard to watch.
Bird and Ling is crazy.
He came out that joint.
Should we talk about that? Is there any coaches y'all want to see stay over? Position coaches.
I love the running back coaches, but I don't see Randy Jordan and Jennifer King. I love them. What's the receiver coach's name? He's cool.
Ingram? I like Ingram.
Bobby Ingram.
Bobby Ingram.
He's cool. The whole I like Jessica Nina, but I mean the defensive line just didn't do anything.
I'm gonna say this. He's probably gonna be gone, but I think Travell Warden was kind of done the wrong hand with the personnel of the all.
Oh yeah, Terrell Ward got dealt a terrible.
That's a good pull. That's a good pull.
Terrell Warden.
So we might have some talent on the staff that we just unable to really see because of their situation.
I mean, Randy done last what, 3 regimes? 3 regimes?
3 regimes, I think.
I mean,
if he's recruiting.
Yeah. If he's still considered one of the best, you never know. He might interview well. King, I think she's a riser. Like you said, Bobby Ingram, because this was his first job, right? Wasn't this Bobby Ingram's first job? Second job?
As a
coach,
I think he had like a what's the thing that Warren Sapp was doing for a minute with us?
Like an internship or something like that?
Yeah, like a coaching intern somewhere. I think that was his first official job.
Yeah, because Sapp going to Colorado.
Yeah, no. Did he say that he liked being in Florida and didn't want to be in the cold though? Whatever.
Faraz, so yeah, we're gonna talk about that a lot next week. You know, the what we looking at for the team and free agency and stuff. So
it's gonna be fun. This gonna be super fun all season. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, Randy not good enough to be out. Nah, he ain't got no play calling.
Not yet.
All he do is make up drills. He's good at that.
The drills be on point though.
Yeah, Chase was a bust. Chase looks horrible in San Fran. Look like he don't want to play.
Don't even get me started.
Oh yeah, Hart is the one that he's this dog's EV.
Don't even get me started, bro. I'd have got Terry that record in the first quarter and just sat him for the rest of the game.
They couldn't even do that.
Point. Bro, there's no point.
They almost though. He could have got what was that, like 40 yards maybe? The
like
joint Sam under
49,
3.
I think it was
49.
Yeah,
49. Then that little shovel handoff. I said, I guess this is how we gonna get Terry his yards. A bunch of shovel.
Bro, they had to give him a shovel pass to get that man some yards. A shovel pass and a screen for real is what did it. Jeez.
That's all be, man.
He in the airport, Kim. Yeah, it ain't us. Don't blame us. You better blame Ron.
We ain't signed nobody to the contract.
You better blame Ron. Oh, this whole situation right here was weird. Ooh, he quit and he wanted to come back because Ron called him and he didn't want to play football no more. Like that whole situation, they were moving the tight end and all that. Yeah, that was a weird situation.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one for sure. And he had so much potential too.
Y'all notice how Josh talked about EBS head coach basically had a discuss on this. I didn't get to watch it yet.
I didn't see it, but EB essentially, in my opinion, this is just me. In my opinion, I think EB bet on himself by coming here this season. I think in a lot of ways he lost. I think it's very likely that we see EB back in Kansas City next year. To be completely honest with you.
So, like on the Commanders page, they got a clip of Josh, and it says, "We think we're an attractive destination for the next generation of leadership."
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting take. Next generation of leadership. If you read into that, it might, to me, it's like, next generation may be some young people. It's gonna be interesting, man. They cast out a wide net for sure. Chase ain't a but. Come on, man. He got her. Oh, okay. That's how you want to look at it.
Get it, go to quick.
Game started at 7:30. Best to get out of here. He made game go.
I forgot about bruh. Yo, we tried to turn to a tight end, bro. He didn't even last training camp, bro. He said, "I'm about to go. I'm about to be."
He said, "Yeah, man, y'all got this, bro. I'm about to go juggle and play with
it.
Rubik's cubes and stuff, man."
Dang, bro.
They have nothing to lose, bro. Like there was nothing to lose. They ran 4 trick plays on the opening drive. They had nothing to lose.
I like that Logan joint. That joint was nice. You should have pulled that out early in the year. Pause. Ron tried to make us the Washington Panthers.
Oh yeah, that one,
Yep, Kim. See, we saw some of those trick plays from training camp. He said, "Ron."
Crazy that we saw all of that in training camp and we didn't. Ron got
Oh man. We drafted Rubik's Cube player. That's just funny. That's funny. Oh man. Well, all season is here. We definitely gonna get into more of but I didn't like, let me see, Breeze. How do you feel about the Myers situation? I heard everyone else here. We talked about it earlier.
I'm fine with it.
Well, DT, I don't think you really use at work, so yeah, y'all too. Go ahead, Breeze.
No, I'm fine with it. I mean, he's not the GM. He's hired to. He's been able to identify talent and build a winning organization that to this day is still they a little bad right now, but has been winning, for a long time. Like he knows how to identify good, successful front office people and coaches. I'm fine with it. I don't have no issue with it. Even if they hired him as GM, I'd be like, all right, let's see what happens. You can't say that I support anything that Josh Harris and company does as they try to build a legitimate front office and all this stuff. And then the first move they announce, what are they doing? Like, give them a chance, bro. Like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. How you feel, DT?
Hey, I said in the Hogs I trust. When I saw that tweet this morning, I almost stopped teaching. I almost stopped teaching, bro. I was like, let's go.
I saw people losing their minds immediately. Like, oh my God, they're hiring a basketball dude to run a football team. What are they doing? Like, calm down. Like,
yeah, it was. I had to explain to them that some kids don't. They're the future janitors.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I mean, like I said on Twitter, like I can read. So when I asked a question on Twitter, it wasn't for my clarification. It was trying to get clarification for other people because they apparently lack that ability. But I saw what it was, so I'm cool with it. Let's see what comes from it.
I love it. I love how they got Spielberg up there too. Somebody that has experience. He was just on John Kahn podcast like a couple weeks ago. That's the crazy thing about it.
I mean, he's still supposed to be on, what is it, Inside the NBA or whatever show he works on right
now. No, he said he's still –
yeah,
he's an analyst. He calling games. He said he's still going to do that, though.
Yeah. I mean –
that's dope.
That's fine. That's fine. And Chuck, you and Trail are the two. Y'all need to be on Forbes' back because, I mean, he making y'all look crazy right now. I ain't going to lie to you. Trail my dog, but Lord.
The only tricks you want to check for is better. Train looking like DK Metcalf.
All right. If he comes to Canada looking like DK Metcalf, he's gonna run a 5.4.
Yeah, I think the thing with Jason Wright is like this is normal though. It's just our organization that knows so much about the team. President, we used to what you have been seeing from Jason Wright this year. It's how it's supposed to be. You ain't supposed to know nothing about Jason Wright and what he's doing. Like he's on the business side for a reason.
Yeah, and
the same with this.
Yeah, like Faraz, I believe it is. Like so many, not saying you, but so many people. Oh my God, like I'm so sick of seeing Jason Wright just blame for X, Y, Z, and then we don't see Jason Wright for almost a whole season. And like, where's Jason Wright at? Why Jason Wright said? Like, Jason Wright's job has nothing to do with football. We should not hear or see from Jason Wright unless he does something pertaining to the business side of football. The business side of the organization.
What did my students think in the announcement today? They're casuals. That's what they're haters. They pick on me because I'm 4-13. But at the end of the day,
well,
they pick on me because they
win. All of them.
I still win. And guess what? They got a quiz tomorrow and they got SOLs next week. Goodbye.
I don't know what the SOL is, but flunk everybody. Flunk everybody.
Standards of learning.
Yeah, that's the thing for us. Like we might just hear something might just be tweeted out about him. Like, I mean, I don't know. I know everything that happened today ain't had nothing to do with him though. Chuck's stupid. Chuck's stupid. Yeah. And my battery about that. This is good timing. All right, y'all. Again, if y'all want to be on the show this week, send any one of us a DM, reach out to me, put in the comment section on YouTube, hit me on X. We'll definitely get you on the show this week. I think tomorrow we're going at 5, Wednesday 6:30, 5 o'clock on Thursday, the UK, and then 5 o'clock on Friday. So just holler, just
pop in for everything.
Okay. Tomorrow, we'll talk about that out of the show.
Okay.
All
right.
Any last comments?
I'm terrified as to what this conversation is going to be when we get off air. Oh man. Hey man, the future is here. That's all I can say. If there are any Commanders fans watching this, I have until January 19th to decide if I want to keep my tickets. As of right now, I want to keep my tickets, but I just might want somebody to take the other tickets. So if y'all interested, let me know. We can talk turkey.
You should get with Riri.
Riri's sitting in 4017 or something.
4017 is
Riri up there sitting with Jesus on Sundays, man. I'm just trying to get closer to God or something, man. I don't know.
But she said she want to move down there though.
Well, Riri, if you want to step down to 103s, row 14, seats 12 and 13, come holler at me. You got my number.
4017 is crazy.
Riri be trying to talk to God on Sundays, man. I can't do it.
What you got, Ceelo?
I don't know how you follow that up, but and Josh, we trust. I'm looking forward to these next couple of days. And man, let's get it. It's gonna be fun this week, man, with the fan appreciation week, dude. This is a great idea. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all.
Yeah. DT.
Before I say what I gotta say, Commanders have just requested an interview with Houston's offensive coordinator Bobby Slovic.
Nice.
Everybody who's been on that train, there you go.
I gotta get my list together. The Panthers did too.
Get your weight up. Get your weight up. Yeah, man. Get your weight up. Yeah.
Look at Chuck. Chuck, you in the military. You ain't gonna, who knows where you gonna be on Sunday.
103. 103, row 14, seats 12 and 13. Chuck. Well, one of the seats. I got the other one, but
hey, this is gonna be a long week, long. Awesome.
You have some fun.
These I don't know when we're gonna take our official off-season break, but this off-season is finna be.
It's been a movie.
Yo, we finna cut up. We finna cut up this off.
Man, we ain't had an easy offseason in about 5 years.
That's true. That's true.
It's been something. It's been something like every freaking year.
Oh my god, man.
At least we ain't talking about Congress. I'm good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to close.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. DT, read that message.
Come on, let's go.
Look at simple Riri. Riri, hey, with sunglasses, fire.
This ain't even Riri's show. Wait a minute. What?
This wild.
Damn, we're getting like
is
3
this
degrees separation.
Wait a minute. What is happening? What is
this a pause? Is this a pause right here?
Hey, speak
pause.
Hey, I got
y'all looking for what is happening in the comment section right now?
Man, y'all know there's DMs. There's DMs available.
Riri, you got till January 19th.
Hey, easy.
There's a DMs available.
Easy, man. Make sure that lock.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Oh, we finna cut up this all season. Man, you tripping. What?
Oh man. All right, DT, what you got, man?
I just think, man,
he can't write it on the good.
It's gonna be a long off season. I cannot wait for the content we're gonna push out this year.
Boy.
The expectations are always gonna be bigger. We're gonna be bigger this year, yo. We're gonna be on the map.
Absolutely. I got a few things I'm working on.
You got your number. That's great.
Algorithms.
I don't know who that message was for. I know you got my phone number, but I don't know who that message was for. But
yeah, I think it was for you.
Okay, well, hey, shoot me a text, then.
We got our cash out.
Wait a minute.
Oh, hey, look, we forgot about this.
Show's over.
Jamie going to jail.
Man.
Andy, that's nasty.
Andy.
We forgot about that. And it's like 11:30 in the UK, yeah.
Andy, that's nasty. You can't end the show like that, bro.
Hey Siri, what time is it in the UK?
Oh my God!
12:30 a.m. Andy, go to sleep, Andy. It's 12:30 in the morning. Go to sleep, man. Go to sleep.
Man.
Oh my God! That's so wild.
It's already...
Look at Jeffrey saying next longest job reboot.
I had a comment, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I had a comment, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Gotta go.
We gotta go.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Appreciate y'all for coming. We know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with us. We definitely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart.